Hello everyone! Welcome to a Heroes of Might and Magic 2! Thanks to goodoldgames.com, or GOG as we call it. I call it Good Old Games. I think that's exactly what it means, but I'm not too sure. Anyway, I talked so much about the Heroes franchise that I decided to show you a bit of a playthrough it. We're going to go through the campaign. First, I'm going to let the narrator talk to you about why the campaign happened.
The troubles all began 3 years ago, with the passing of the old king, Lord Ironfist. The king left 2 sons.
Which never works out.
Roland was good, kindly, and honorable, while Archibald was not so good. Traditionally, the choice of the heir falls to the royal seer, but he died in a tragic boating accident. His successor's luck was no better, with Frederick falling out of a window, Robert slain by a dragon, and Johann dying of food poisoning. Archibald accused Roland of murdering the seers, and issued a proclamation against Roland. Fearing for his life, Roland fled the place for his castle in the west. With Roland gone, Archibald was able to influence the new royal seer's decision. The seer chose Archibald, and Archibald crowned himself king the next day. And so the war for succession began. Choose your lord.
So in this playthrough, we're going to play as Roland, and I want you guys to select the things that I choose at the start of every
my
level.
Faithful vassal, I greet your pledge of loyalty
Of course.
with gratitude and relief. As
Hold
you
on.
know, my wicked brother Archibald has seized my father's castle and usurped the throne. Only the lords nearest the castle have been quick to swear allegiance to him, but I fear even distant lords may take the oath in the absence of a viable alternative. I am determined to provide that alternative, even if it means making war on vassals formerly loyal to my father. Therefore, it is with a heavy heart that I must order you to compel the loyalty of the barons nearest my summer palace by force of arms. Since we cannot afford to fail, I have provided you with a sum of gold sufficient to the task. I have also provided you with a magical amulet to help coordinate our war efforts. Wear it always, and we will be in constant communication.
Alright, so anyway, like I said, and I'm sorry there are no subtitles in this game. So you basically only get to hear what you get to hear. Anyway, over here you can see I have a choice. 2,000 gold, the Thunder Macer Gauntlets. Now, every time that I go to a place, I get the choice. Alright? Of 3 items, or magic, or, you know, monetary gain. I'm going to pick the 2,000 gold this time. But in the upcoming campaign areas, I'm going to be given more choices, and I am going to have you guys choose what I want. Or what I get in this case. Alright? So let's start. 3 castles to the north that I have to take. I start as the Wizard. The Wizard was one of the new classes introduced here, and they actually were pretty tough. Their main bonus was having more magic than anyone else could, so that was their biggest draw. Lots of rogues. Now, in Heroes, there are terms which determine how many of a certain creature there are. These are few, several, pack, lots, horde, throng, and legion, I believe, is the biggest. Now, lots means there's anywhere from 20 to 49 rogues in this group. Do I think I can take 20 to 49? I think I can. Let's see. 12, 27. Unlike the other game, there is no wait option. It's just skip. You either take your turn and move and do stuff, or you just lose it, period. Now, as you can see, rogues are incredibly fast. They got over here in no time. Luckily, we can take them all out. That was a stupid idea. Alright, this is a witch's hut. Normally you wouldn't just jump into a witch's hut. I usually get a second hero to go do that for me because it's a random skill. And who's to say that it's one I want? Alright. Let's keep moving on. A well is always a good thing to get, and a mage guild since we're magical. These first turns are going to go pretty quick. In fact, the turns afterwards might go pretty quick too. Especially given a bit of a play style. I don't want to risk any of my guys right now. Anyway, let's get this wizard. Remember how I told you guys the first time that usually whenever I play, I have a bad habit of not buying a second hero. This is true. I'm always have one guy for every castle. Now this isn't every castle I have to take, like one guy per enemy that I'm against. No, this is one guy per place I have, because I'm not good at splitting up troops. Now, the first week, you always want to try and focus on finding out what you can about your surroundings. Usually in the sense of killing as many things as you can, finding all the mines that you need, and just basically getting your town ready. I used to not have it set up. This should turn out, by the way, the same way that it did the last time we did this. Well, it's going to turn out even better. Thanks to high morale. Alright. Anyway, scouting is always good. This is basically the ultimate Thieves Guild. So here we see that I'm against green, yellow, and orange, respectively, a barbarian, warlock, and necromancer. Mummies, griffins, ogres. Okay? Right now I have the most income, which is insane, because that means that I have 1,000 and maybe some guy with estates. That's it. They all tied. Green has the highest army strength. He's a barbarian. That's not amazing. They're ahead in artifacts. I'm ahead in number of heroes. So they only have one guy right now. Builder, and warrior. This means yellow's going out and killing things. He's building up things and he's building up things. Yeah, I know they're already at max. Alright, so I'm gonna send him back because it's about to be next week. Let's get a statue. Week of the Badger. They got rid of it a little bit in later Heroes games, but the weeks were really powerful. And what I mean by that is that, like, a week could be the determining factor between whether you're on a winning or losing side of a fight. If it was special enough. Like the week of whatever you're using would be enough to turn the tide in one fight. Alright, anyway, let's see what we have. Alright, we have Lightning Bolt, V artifacts, Dragon Slayer, Slow, Cure, V resources. Lightning Bolt is one of the stronger moves. Dragon Slayer, it's okay. Even though it says dragons, it works against anything that's a level 4 or higher tier monster, I think. Anyway, here we are versus some peasants. Peasants are the bottom barrel of the group because they are 21 hit, they're 1 hit point. 1 hit point, 1 attack, 1 defense, 1 damage. So as long as I do 21, they will die. They really made a bunch of improvements to peasants in the later games, giving them special abilities like the tax ability. That made it so it was actually worth having them around. Let's see, marketplace. There we go. Alright. Now what's going to end up happening is I'm going to have certain creatures but not other ones. It's going to get really weird. Heroes 3 really helped out with this by allowing you to upgrade your town hall and get more money. The most money I can get from town right now, I'm already getting it. It's 1,500. Lots of gargoyles, lots of gargoyles. Let's go fight these peasants. Should be 1,250. That's the best I'll ever get, and the best they'll ever be. At least until I get something like a gold mine or some other form of income like that. Now you might be wondering, if peasants are so easy, why didn't I attack this horde last week, you know? I suppose I was being cautious. You never want to attack someone just outright because you think you might win. Kind of want to make sure you'll win. Let's see. Anyway, sulfur mine. Good. Oh, and I don't have any money to do anything. That'll happen a lot in the early days. Especially if you're like me and have poor money management for your groups. Alright. Now I didn't need to do that, but I like doing it. These goblins are 21 hit points each. total. That guy was 24. Better safe than sorry is the only reason I lightning bolted. Alright. We're almost to a good point right now. No, don't want to pursue. Alright, a pack of steel golems is what stands between us and a pretty nice looking gold mine there. I'd really love that gold mine, in fact. I can't get it. Now maybe with my lightning bolt you might be thinking I could take it, but I can't. The golems resist a lot of magic damage. Weak of the Aardvark. Alright, those are trolls, and the only reason I'm getting so close to them is to allow myself to see as far as I can. Early warnings of being attacked by anything is always a good sign. I'm gonna start shoring up my defenses here, too. I don't expect anyone to break through, especially because one of my favorite parts about this level, I suppose I could say, is that technically the AI is fighting itself. At least for the first half. So I don't even have to worry much. Alright, in number 3 you could right click it to see how much damage your things do, but in number 2 and 1 you just had to guess. Or at least use your brain and do the math. I have 3 spell power. Lightning Bolt does 25 damage per spell power, so alright. I thought that would do a little bit more. I don't want them hurting my rocks too much. Probably one of the worst things I've done so far right now is run my rocks right into that fight. But it all worked out for the best because these boars are super agitated. Now, I don't need pathfinding yet, but I'll probably need it later. Let's see if I can get myself pretty set up before my timer runs out. I think he's got enough now. He has to go get it. Yes! Even if they're the thing you hate, or there's something that doesn't get along with you, whenever a group of people asks to join you, you say yes. If anything, they can turn the tide by sitting inside your castle. And therefore you don't even have to worry about a certain group of enemies or something. Huh? Okay, these are pikemen and veteran pikemen. I know, they look silly in their little hats. However, they can take a lot of punishment, and veteran pikemen move very far and very fast. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to use the veteran pikemen against the pikemen. I don't attack with my rocks too much because they are the strongest creatures I have in this group. And therefore I want to keep them at a very, at a pretty high level. Yep, that was bad. Not too bad though. Losing, I think it was 7 level 1 units. Not gonna be the end of the world. That bad morale is probably a bad thing though. I would have liked it for my pigs to not been freaked out by the fact I have zombies. Oops. I have a rule that I use for myself. Kinda. When it comes to experience and gold from the chest. The rule goes as follows. If the chest is going to give, or if you're going to get 500 experience, it's not worth it. Hello, Skype. You giant thing. Get out of the way. I'm working here. No! How dare you? Centaurs are one of the more dangerous first level things. They have by far the most hit points of them, which is 5. And for first level creatures, that is pretty high. And they're archers. Let's see. Yeah, they have the highest hit points, in fact. Just going over it in my head. Oh, I'm so close. Look at that. Almost there. Left turret. If we're curious, we can go ahead and look at this guy. Let's view several. I could sure take him on, like, right now. I would have no problems taking that guy on. But I can't yet. Now, I've entered the fight with no archers. When you go into a fight with no long-range units, usually it depends on what you're fighting, how good that fight's going to turn out. Mummies, kind of strong, but not the worst. As you can see, I'm taking quite a bit out of them. It's that I was worried about. Mummies, when they curse you, it's the same as the curse spell. Now, the curse spell has the effect of making you always do your minimum damage. Which is funny, because that means it has no effect on peasants. There's all that for the mummies. Let's hope we can get through this part. First I'm going to upgrade my foundry because I can. So now I can make steel golems. Alright, here we are. The steel golems who are blocking my way to riches. Now, I'll show you why fighting them with lightning bolt isn't a good idea. I can do 50, right? It only did 25. This is much more effective. Yeah, as you can see, magic does almost no damage to golems. They are pretty, the word is impervious that I'm looking for. However, that is always effective on them. Damaging spells versus golems are never useful. However, status-inducing effects are very useful. There's 7 hit points left. Can I do 7? Nope. One boar versus 13 golems. That's a good trade-off. And now we attain our gold mine. Our way to riches is clear. Alright. So I have the Evil Eye, which reduces the cost of all my spells that do curse, or all my spells with curse in their name, by half, which are none that I have. The one thing about artifacts where the guy asks you to pay for them is you should always pay for them. Even if you don't have what they're asking for, say yes. Because if you say no, they get angry and disappear. If you say yes, if you don't have it, they'll just say, "Oi, you're trying to cheat me," and still be there. I don't like that greenie. He's staring at these trolls, and they can take them. I mean, I'm looking at that group, and I know that group can take them, so I better get home. Alright, so here's what's gonna happen. This guy, Mandrigal, has served us very well. Better than I thought he would, in fact. Now he gets to be our runner. Which means that he's going to run around and collect stuff, but not fight. I should have traded him the boars. Or the zombies. Alright. The library is special for the Wizards town. They are the only people who get it, and I should have a way to check. There we go. 1 and 1. She definitely has enough things to hold her over. Mandragora, get back over here. Now it was a month. And we're getting pretty close to our wrap-up time, that's right. So I'm going to get rid of these gargoyles. And we're going to have to end this up here. Now, in Heroes 3, flying creatures are not much of a big problem, because speed applies to them. You'll remember when I was playing it, I couldn't fly across the screen with my harpies and just smack somebody in the face. I had to fly halfway, and then halfway again. Then I could smack them in the face. This is not true here. Which make flying things just insanely powerful. Guys, I wasn't in the mood. Excuse me, people. Alright. This can also happen when you look for an artifact. All of a sudden, pack of rogues jump out. Okay? It's always 50. Just case in point, it's always 50. No matter how many packs they make of themselves. Okay? The funny part is when you watch a computer run into that and they die. Later on, the computer got smart though. In Heroes 3, a computer will never run into an artifact that either needs them to do something or they have enemies guarding it. I don't know if they ever did that here either. I'd have to check. Anyway, that's going to do it for this part. Tune in next time, and we'll be finishing off this campaign. And once we do, it'll be your turn to choose what I have at the start. Bye-bye for now, and I hope that you join us on the quest through Heroes of Might and Magic 2.